It wasn't on the construction schedule, but a surprise visitor swam right into a $64 million TxDOT project in Port Aransas. A manatee showed up at the ferry landing halting work.
Yeah, it turns out the sea cow had the right of way. Our Michael Gibson has details, plus a plan to bring even more of the animals right here to the coastal bend.
Crews working on the ferry landing project in Port Aransas had to throw on the brakes when a manatee floated into the work zone. TxDOT says they were ready for that possibility.
We've included more education in our construction projects that are in the water because we knew there was a possibility of this happening. And so it's so rewarding that all the planning efforts were in place. People were armed with that information, and then they did the right thing.
With work back on track, crews are keeping an eye out for another visit. That Port Aransas manatee was last spotted swimming west toward Corpus Christi Bay.
It's cool to know that they're in Texas waters in the summer. It's important to know that they're protected because they can be very vulnerable to pollution, to being struck by vessels.
Over the Texas State Aquarium, President and CEO Jesse Gilbert says manatees are now showing up in Texas waters more often, about a dozen a year.
The manatees are kind of going in the northern Gulf, and then in the western Gulf they end up in Texas where we have good seagrass beds, and they show up and they eat here during the summer.
Gilbert says Florida's manatee population is struggling, and the aquarium may soon play an even bigger role in rescuing them.
We're getting ready to make some decisions on whether or not we need to help and maybe evacuate animals out of Florida, get them to Texas, get them healed and fattened up, get them back to Florida for release.
But helping sea cows isn't cheap or easy. Each one eats through a 35-gallon container of romaine lettuce each day. Gilbert says that's why the aquarium is already working with HEB to keep the salad bar stocked. So if you spot a manatee, it's not lost. It's just visiting our state waters for the all-you-can-eat seagrass buffet.